Hello everyone. Today I will be discussing about case study based questions. In case study section, 5 questions are based on the given paragraph, out of which any 4 have to be answered. Now I am taking the topic optical fiber. Optical fibers are very thin, 10 to the power of minus 6 meter diameter nearly, fibers made up of ultra pure silica core, refractive index 1.7, and are surrounded by cladding of relatively lower refractive index 1.5, nearly 1.5. The electrical signals are first converted into light, which then propagates through the fiber, suffering several total internal reflections, as shown in figure. Optical fibers are used in telecommunication for propagation of signal or propagating signals from one place to another. About 300 signals can be transmitted through optical fiber without any interference. In figure, this is an optical fiber. This portion is core portion of higher refractive index, and this is surrounded by a cladding of lower refractive index, and this whole optical fiber is surrounded by buffer coating for their protection. And in this diagram, this signal suffers multiple reflection. Now the questions. First question: an endoscope is employed by a physician to view the internal parts of a body organ. It is based on the principle of 4 choices are given, and students have to select the correct one. So the endoscope used by the physician, it is based on total internal reflection. This, we hope so the students know the answer, because it is not depend on refraction, not depend on reflection, not on dispersion. This is a device as used by the physician based on total internal reflection. So D is the correct answer. Next question is: light enters at an angle of incidence in a transparent rod of refractive index n. The material of the rod the light once entered into it will not leave it through its lateral face, whatsoever be the value of angle of incidence. Then we have to find the correct answer. A is greater than under root 2, n is greater than under root 2, B part n is equal to 1, n is equal to 1.1, n is equal to 1.3. As we know that n, the refractive index, this will be reciprocal of the critical angle sin C. That is, sin C will be equal to 1 upon n, or this will be equal to sin 45. Thus 1 upon n, this will be equal to 1 upon under root 2, or n must be equal to or greater than under root 2. Means A is the correct answer. Because the ray must be suffering total internal reflection, so this is not possible. N is equal to 1, this is not possible. N is equal to 1.1, and we have to select the answer from A and D. So by this relation, n is equal to 1 upon sin C, this will be nearly or greater than under root 2. The next question is, which of the following is not due to total internal reflection? Is not due to total internal reflection. Means working of optical fiber, we know it depends on the total internal reflection. Difference between apparent and real depth of a pond. Next, mirage on the hot summer day, we also know this is the phenomena which depends on the total internal reflection, and brilliance of diamond is also depend on the total internal reflection. So this B1 will be the correct answer, the difference between apparent and the real depth of a pond. It is independent of the total internal reflection. So now next thing is, an optical fiber is used in transmission of signal, yes. As wiring in submarine, yes. For examining internal organs of human body, yes. So the correct answer is all the we know that the total internal reflection used in the transmission of signal in the submarine, wiring in the submarine, and examining internal organs. All of the above is the correct answer. Now the next one is, the advantages of optical fibers in telecommunications are large bandwidth, yes. Less interface of signal, yes. Data is secure as it is difficult to intercept, yes. Means the all of the above. The correct choice will be all the above. So in this way, 1 marks questions are framed in case study, questions from a paragraph. The questions may be in the paragraph or may not be in the paragraph. It may be the conceptual base, or the students having their previous knowledge on the same topic. So any 4 out of 5 student can pick. Now next topic is this prism. Case study based question on prism. So paragraph is giving, a prism is a portion of transparent refractive medium bounded by 2 plane surfaces inclined to each other at a certain angle. I plus E is equal to A plus delta. This is a prism equation. I plus E is equal to A plus delta. At a certain angle of incidence, the deviation produced by the prism is minimum for given prism. The angle of minimum deviation is different for different colors. This is given. Now the questions. First one is, which of the following has the shortest wavelength? We know that from Vibgyor, the wavelength of violet is nearly 4000 to visible region की जो wavelength है 4000 to nearly 7800 angstrom. Means red की wavelength, and this will be, and the other color lie between 4000 to 7800 angstrom. That is lambda V is less than lambda R. Wavelength of red color is greater than wavelength of violet. So the answer, shortest wavelength, is the answer C, violet color. Next one is, the angle of minimum deviation in an equilateral prism of refractive index 1.419 is, 1.419 is equal to under root 2, because the value of under root 2 is 1.419. So we have to find the angle of minimum deviation in equilateral prism. Okay, so we know that by this relation mu is equal to sine A plus delta minimum upon 2 divided by sine A by 2. And this is given, refractive index is under root 2. So this will be under root 2 sine. Angle of prism is 60 degree. Delta minimum we have to find. So this will be delta minimum upon 2 upon sine 60 upon 2, that is sine 30, or sine 30 is half. So in place of this we write sine 30 and put the value half. Sine 30 is equal to half. So we multiply under root 2 into half. This will be equal to sine 60 plus delta minimum upon 2, or this will be 1 upon under root 2 is equal to sine 60 plus delta minimum upon 2, and this will be equal to sine 45. Therefore, or 45 is equal to 60 divided by 2, 30 plus delta minimum upon 2. So 45 minus 30, 15. Delta minimum upon 2 means delta minimum is equal to 30 degrees. So this will be the correct answer. In this way we can find the value of minimum angle of minimum deviation. This. Now next question is, for the angle of minimum deviation of a prism to be equal to its refracting angle, the prism must be made of material whose refractive index is, we have to find the refractive index, and it is given that the angle of minimum deviation for a prism is equal to its refracting angle, that is delta minimum is equal to angle of this refracting angle of the prism, that is A, which is equal to 60 degree. Now mu is equal to sine, we know that this will be equal to sine minimum upon 2 divided by sine A by 2. Therefore this will be sine 60 plus delta minimum is given by this relation. So this will be again 60 divided by 2 upon sine 60 divided by 2 means sine 60 upon sine 30, or this will be root 3 by 2, sine 60 root 3 by 2, and this is half. So this will be root 3, and root 3 will be equal to 1.732. That is, the value lies between 2 and under root 2. 1.72 lies between under root 2 and 2. Okay, so this will be the answer. Next is, the refractive indices of violet and red light are 1.54 and 1.52. That is, mu v is given and mu r is given. Mu v is 1.54, 1.54, and mu r is equal to 1.52. Okay. Now we have to find the angle of prism is 10. A is equal to 10. Angular dispersion we have to find. So angular dispersion theta, this will be equal to angle of the prism into mu v minus mu r. By this relation we can find. So this will be 10 given 1.54 minus 1.52, or 10 into minus करने we obtain 0.02, and this will be 0.2. This will be 0.2 degree. Theta will be 0.2 degree. So this is the correct option. Now next thing, two beam of red and violet colors are made to pass separately through a prism. Angle of prism is 60 degree. in the position of minimum deviation, the angle of refraction will be. Now in minimum deviation, as we know, in minimum deviation, R1 is equal to R2 is equal to angle R1 is equal to angle R2, and R1 plus R2. R1, angle R1 plus R2 is equal to A. If we say this is R, then 2R is equal to A, or this will be equal to 60 degree. So R will be equal to 30 degree. Okay, so this will be the answer, 30 degree for both the colors, because delta minimum is same for all colors. So for both the colors, this will be A. Answer is A. Now these are the answers which are given for case study based questions. Now we come to assertion reasoning questions. In assertion reasoning, for assertion and reasoning type questions, two statements are given. One labeled as assertion and the other as reason. We have to select the correct answer to these questions from codes A, B, C and D. 4 choices are given. In each questions, we have to select the correct one. A part, if both assertion and reason are true and the reason is correct explanation of A, then we have to select the answer A. If both assertion and reason are true but reason is not correct explanation of A, then we have to choose the option B. Next, if A is true, assertion is true but reason is false, then we have to select C. And if A is false and the reason is also false, then we have to select the answer D. So in this way we have to answer the assertion reasoning type questions. Now we are taking some example. First one is, the assertion is the refractive index of diamond is under root 6 and that of the liquid is under root 3. If the light travels from diamond to liquid, it will totally be reflected when the angle of incidence is 45 degree. Okay, and the reason is given, refractive index n is equal to 1 upon psi c, where n is the refractive index of diamond with respect to liquid and c is the critical angles. So now we have to explain that the assertion is true or not first and then reason. So the refractive index of diamond is under root 6 and that of liquid is under root 3. If the light travels from diamond to the liquid, denser to rarer medium, it will totally be reflected when angle of incidence is 45 degree. This is the, we have to check that the given statement is true or not. So we check from this mu2 upon mu1 or 1 mu2 means the refractive index of second medium with respect to first. This will be equal to reciprocal of the critical angle 1 upon sin c, and this will be given under root 6. This is given under root 3. So this will be under root 2 और sin c इसको reciprocal हो जाएगा. This will be 1 upon under root 2 means sin 45 और c critical angle will be 45 degree means the given statement is true. Now second one is reason. Reason is also true, as from this refractive index mu or n you can write n is equal to 1 upon sin c या mu is equal to 1 upon sin c. So n refractive index or mu, or in place of n you can also write mu with respect to diamond because c is critical angle. So this is also true, means both the assertion is true, reason is true, means the option is A is correct. So A is the answer. Next, a convex mirror cannot form real image. We all know that the convex mirror always form virtual image whatever be the position of the object. Okay, so this statement is true. Next, reason convex mirror converges the parallel rays that are incident on it. We know that the convex mirror is always diverges the rays in such a way that it seems to be coming from a point which is called the focus. So convex mirror diverges, not converges the parallel rays. So this statement is false. That is, assertion is true, reason is false, means the option C is correct. Okay, so in this way we have to solve the assertion reasoning type questions. Next one is, violet light suffers more refraction than red light when white light is passed by a lens. Yes, this is true because we know that lambda violet is less than lambda red and refractive index mu v is greater than mu r. So by this relation f is equal to mu minus 1 upon r1 minus 1 upon r2. The focal length is reciprocal to the refractive index, therefore fv is less than fr. Since the focal length or the distance of the focus for red color and violet color is different, hence the violet suffers more refraction than red light when white light is passed by a lens. Clear? So this statement is true. Now next, violet light has a lesser focal length and red is more. In comparison to red light, violet has less focal length. This sentence is also true. Means assertion is true, reason is true. So the option A is correct. Clear? Next question. If an object placed on the axis of the lens is illuminated by white light, the image form will be colored and not exactly white. Reason, the lens has different focal lengths for different colors. As I have told you, different colors के लिए different wavelength के लिए focal length different होती है. Therefore the image जो है वो colored हो जाती है deviate होने की वजह से, not exactly white. So first one is also true, reason is also true, hence the correct option is A is the answer. Because the refractive index depends on the wavelength and for different colors the wavelength is different, therefore the colored image will be obtained. Now next one is the last question. A fish inside a pond will see a person standing outside taller than he actually is. Reason is light bends away from the normal as it enters air from water. A fish inside a pond will see a person standing outside taller than he actually is. correct statement. This is true. And light bends away from the normal as it enters from water to air. We know, suppose we consider this is a pond filled with water and a fish is here. So the ray which goes straight will move as such. Another ray you can consider passing from the object meets at this point where the two media changes. Then what happens? Since the ray is moving from denser to rarer medium, therefore this ray will move away from the normal. If we draw the perpendicular at the point of interface, then this ray will appear that this ray is coming from this point O dash. Means O is the object and O dash is the image of this object O. So since ray is traveling from denser to rarer medium, therefore this ray will move away, means angle of refraction becomes large. So due to this refraction, this is also true. When the ray travels from water to air, it will move away from the normal. So both the sentences are true, hence the option A is the correct option for this assertion. If fish inside a pond will see a person standing outside taller, he is actually is fish को ये taller दिखेगा, and the ray which travels from denser to rarer medium bends away from the normal. Okay, so these are the answers of assertion and reasoning questions. Okay, thank you.